The Bible says in the book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 16, "Hereby perceive we the love of God because he laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren." Now, when this verse was translated, the words "of God" were not present in the original text. It would literally read, "This is how we perceive," or how we know and are able to recognize love. God's name wouldn't even have had to have been mentioned back then. And this is true for several different texts in the New Testament. When a powerful statement was made, even with a pronoun like he, it was understood that their focus was so laser specific and that the gospel so permeated their lives that Almighty God was the understood reference of almost every sentence. This is how you'll know love, and obviously God is love. In this chapter, we'll also see that the world will hate you, and that shouldn't be a surprise. Hate is the contrast to love. The chapter says love shouldn't just be a word, it should be done in deed and in truth. And just like in John 3:16, here in 1 John 3:16, love is the product and giving is the wrapping paper, the package. You know, it's easy to see what I love based on what I lay down. And as a culture, we love a lot of things. We'll lay money down for vacations. We'll lay our time down for television. We'll lay our family down for athletics. When it comes to life, everything is an exchange based on what you really value or what you love. Everything we experience, from the things we touch to the things we taste, involve giving up something for something of varied value or that we consider to be of equal value. So God answers a question here in 1 John 3:16. How do we know what we love? Well, by seeing what we lay down our life for. And to convey the love of God, you have to be filled by the God of love. He laid down his life, and we ought to do the same for the brethren. Now, the brethren, that's the church. And this might be a stretch for some of you, but when I read "lay down our lives for the brethren," I not only think about the local church now, but about the souls who have not yet been born into the family of God, the people who are my future brothers. So let me ask you a question. Can you truly say that you are laying your life down? Like, are you willing to sacrifice your preference in order to prioritize another person's soul? Are you regularly assisting those in need, or could it be said that you don't hardly associate with those type of people? You know, if we're going to experience growth both deep and wide as individuals and as individual parts of a much more important body, our lives should be centered on sacrifice, because we're never more like God than when we give. Everything in life is an exchange, and Christ asks in Mark chapter 8, what would a man give in exchange for his soul? And then he follows that up in verse 38 by saying, "Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed." So let me ask you a question this week. Share this video and comment this below. How would our churches, how would our communities, and how would our country look a whole lot or even a little bit different if the hallmark of every Christian's life was not how much we could get, but rather how much we could give?